gummy bear.
It's the internet. You're busy. Let's do this for January 11th, 2023. For the next hour or so, let me help you sort through the world of gaming on Game Mess Mornings Live with me, Jeff Grubb. Today, the future of cheating in video games is here. But first, please join me in welcoming today's co-host to Game Mess Mornings. It's Lucy James from Giant Bomb, everybody. Lucy, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm getting there. I'm getting. I'm like kind of sick of being sick. I'm at that point of it. Definitely woke up today feeling better than most mornings. It's that wake up and you got to get all the coughs out, and that's been happening every morning. Yesterday I woke up late and had to rush down the stairs and was coughing while trying to get the kids ready, and I just couldn't stop. Today was a lot better. So
are you sleeping elevated?
I'm keeping my head propped, is how I will say, with multiple pillows. I do have one of those couch beds I should probably just lay on that has the I can make it go halfway up. Maybe I could try that. Yeah, maybe give that a shot.
When in my old apartment, when I was living with the Millers and I had a TV at the end of my bed, I bought basically a pregnancy pillow, kind of the triangular pillow, so I could just kind of be at a nice incline. Then I used to start falling asleep like that, and it was pretty great.
Yeah, pretty great. I like those pregnancy pillows. I ended up using my wife's way more than she did. So yeah, it's good stuff. But yeah, I'm getting there. It is. It's coming around. I'm on some meds now, but mostly it's just it's not COVID. The test came back negative. I took it yesterday or the day before that, 2 days ago. And so it's what do I do now other than just keep being sick, I guess. But it's been a long time, so that's the frustrating part. But I think it's finally coming to an end now. And like I said, sick of being sick, so just ready to do some work. Let's get into this mess, and before we do, let's explain what we do here. Most weekdays, I, Jeff Grubb, will help piece your gaming life back together. That includes breaking news and maybe some of our own original reporting. For all these topics, I'll get the input of a bona fide expert who will make me look smart. If you are watching live on Twitch, welcome. You can always listen to the show later on podcast feeds by searching for Game Mess Mornings or find the RSS on giantbomb.com. You can also catch the show later with chapters and timestamps on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. All right, we have a lot to get into, so let's start the morning mess with Xbox and Bethesda have confirmed the developer direct for January 25th. This comes from Andy Robinson at VGC. Xbox and Bethesda will live stream a developer direct on Wednesday, January 25th. It's been announced. According to Xbox, the event will provide fans with an inside look at some of the games coming to Xbox, PC, and Game Pass over the next few months. That includes big features, extended gameplay showcases, and the latest info for Xbox games launching in the next few months, including The Elder Scrolls Online, Forza Motorsport, Minecraft Legends, and Redfall. To dedicate the proper amount of the time for the deep dive into Bethesda Game Studios' Starfield, a standalone show is in the works. So kind of getting it all out there on the table, just saying, hey, we know Starfield's not in this. That's going to worry some people. Let's set expectations. It's coming later. But is this what you were expecting, and is this enough for Xbox?
I think so. I don't think it'll be as flashy, though. That's the only thing. It's not necessarily going to be as flashy as one of their showcases that they'll do. I think this will be a more, in-depth, hopefully a more granular look. I mean, Elder Scrolls Online, Forza, Minecraft Legends, all have their audiences. I've dabbled in all. They're not for me. I'm here for Redfall. The minds behind Dishonored Prey, Arcane Austin will show several minutes of gameplay. Oh no, hang on, I'm just looking at the thing. I didn't realize they were stylizing developer direct as developer_direct.
Yes, they are. They are. Yep.
Okay.
I would strip that styling if I were still an editor, they would be going in the trash. And
we're probably not gonna use that styling at all. Fans can expect to learn more about combat customization, bosses, the open world, and more. Okay, that's where my interest is. The thing that I really want is that, if this is gonna last an hour, I hope everything gets its time to shine, because that is a common complaint about award ceremonies, am I right? Talking about the Golden Globes. But also showcases where they just decide to pack everything in and no one gets, a minute, like a breath to just bask in that moment. And so I really hope that that's what this is going to be. Developer_direct.
Yes, this very much does not seem like a non-stop, breathless presentation of one trailer after another. This is going to be a chance for, like I said, extended gameplay showcases. This is going to be developers with a controller in hand or talking over a pre-recorded gameplay session and telling people exactly what's going on in the game. And it's probably going to have it's probably going to feel pretty lackadaisical compared to like an E3 or a Nintendo Direct or even like a Sony State of Play, because those just at a certain point those just go. They tell you what you need to know, give you some visuals about like the game, and then they move on because they're afraid of people getting bored. And so this seems like it's not too afraid of that, and they're going to just go in depth on these games. Now, I think some of the good news there is that Redfall does feel very exciting. I don't know if you heard the good news about the change of a temperature regarding Redfall and the Bombcast, but last week I was saying to you, like, oh, we did the Bombcast yesterday. I brought up Redfall, and everyone was either didn't remember what it was or didn't seem to care. And now, since they did that interview with, I think, what was it, Games Radar, where they were like, oh, no, this is like Far Cry 2, but Arcane's take on that. Bacalar was very excited. I'm also, like, I was pretty excited, but now I'm like, I am so on board for that. And I'm like, I really hope this shows off exactly what that can look like. Because a systems-heavy game where the systems are designed by the team responsible for Prey and Dishonored, boy, that sounds very, very good to me. So, I mean, these are the big games that are all supposed to come out before halfway through this year, and it doesn't even include Starfield. It doesn't. It's hard to tell, but it doesn't seem like they are saying there will be games beyond these. Is it just focusing on these games? Or, as far as I can tell, it seems like that's what it's saying.
Some of the games, I would have been surprised. I know a lot of people are so excited about Hollow Knight Silksong, and that, Xbox did like a little post thread the other day on Twitter where it was, and here's all the games coming in. They put Silksong on there.
And it was at the last E3 show where they said everything will be coming in the next 12 months. It was there at the Xbox show, so yeah.
And so, unless they're going to do another one of these, because again, it's only January, we've got another 5 or so months to get through another one.
They have E3 coming, so like they can completely just focus on these games until then. And if these games are good, that'll easily carry them. But like this marketing campaign and stuff can also help carry them a little bit. Like who honestly, we should get dates for most of these games at this point. It's January. June is just 6 months away. That will be the 12-month period from when they said these games would have to come out, and there's 5 of them here. Or I mean, the Elder Scrolls Online expansion, Forza Motorsport, Minecraft Legends, Redfall, Starfield. That they could do one of those per month starting in February, and I would expect them to probably start doing that. And who knows exactly? And if they do have more, it probably I still think maybe that Tango Gameworks small little project could show up, but if it doesn't, it'll probably just pop up somewhere else at this point. So. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. I think. Do you think that this is again enough to set up Xbox through the rest of the year after having that really, really shaky 2022 where they just didn't have anything, and that's by their own admission?
I don't think it sets up 2023. I think it sets up the first half of it. I think Starfield is really going to be the one that they're putting. They're pinning a lot on Starfield. They let them have the extra time. They delayed it. It's gonna be inescapable. And so you can even tell by the way they're separating it out from the rest of the big games. Because Redfall's big, Forza's huge, Elder Scrolls, Minecraft. Like these are not small titles, but the fact that Starfield is getting its own time in the sun, it kind of says a lot about how much they're pinning a lot of hopes on it. I think. Yes,
I agree, and I hope the wait to that isn't too much longer after this. I am still most excited about Starfield out of all these games. But again, if that Redfall showcase is real hot, boy, I'm ready. I'm ready to believe and to fall in love with that game. That's pretty exciting. And who knows, maybe Minecraft Legends could be surprising, and it's been a long time since Forza Motorsport. So, you're definitely right. This is their first half of the year, and then we get to E3, and it kind of can't be like, well, we had a good first half of the year. Oh, I lost Lucy. We will get her back whenever Discord decides to come back on. There we go. There, you're back. Man, Discord just randomly crashes on me about once.
I say, because was that me or you?
That was me. That was definitely me.
Okay.
But we got you back. We're good to go. All right, we're moving on anyhow, so let's move on to the next one here. New MechWarrior game is in development and will be single player. This comes from Evan Campbell over at GameSpot. Developer Piranha Games has a new standalone MechWarrior game in development. Russ Bullock, president of the studio, opened up about the previously unknown project on a podcast. Appearing on No Guts, No Galaxy via Video Games Chronicle, Bullock brought up the next game in the MechWarrior franchise. This is a quote, "Everyone knows we have DLC 4 coming out for MechWarrior 5, and there is another MechWarrior game in development at Piranha. Piranha Games has been the team behind the past two titles in the BattleTech franchise, MechWarrior Online and MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries." Bullock explained that this new project is a single-player experience. It's not MechWarrior Online 2. It's not the successor to MechWarrior Online. It's not an online PvP game, he said. Think of it more in line with MechWarrior 5, but a standalone game, a standalone product. Now, Bullock added that an official reveal of this new MechWarrior isn't coming anytime soon. He said the announcement may arrive as late as this fall, specifically mentioning September. Piranha is planning for the game to release on all platforms, PC and console, according to Bullock. MechWarrior games are ones that have the long lineage. I dip into them every once in a while. I'm glad that they are coming at it with a variety of approaches and not just doing MechWarrior Online and MechWarrior 6 and then back to MechWarrior Online. Sounds like this would be slightly different, but still kind of along the lines of a MechWarrior. Are you into the BattleTech franchise at all?
You know what? I'm going to be real with you. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
It's
Google
big,
right now.
It's big robots what tank and shoot at one another. Yeah, it's
MechWarrior 5. Okay, hang on.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that's a big tank. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, 9 out of 10 on Steam. I've never partaken.
Yes.
You know?
I mean, listen, and once you do, it's hard to get off of it, but I understand. It's also been pretty easy to miss. And they, MechWarrior definitely had a period where they were in and out, like in terms of being like on the scene of gaming regularly for a lot of years there. It was like, hey, MechWarrior 2 is really huge, and then some lean years in between that and kind of coming back with Piranha.
The fallow years of MechWarrior.
Exactly. Absolutely true.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the only mech stuff I've ever really played or partaken in would be Titanfall. Does that count? I played,
I count it.
Yeah, Titanfall, and what was that other one? Oh my god, it's by Marcus Lato. Disintegration. That was mech
right.
adjacent.
Yeah,
wasn't
sure,
it?
right. Yeah, that's the one where like were you flying over the field a little bit? Maybe that's a different game from former Halo developer. But yes, I enjoy Titanfall. I enjoy some MechWarrior. Yeah, but there was a period in the 90s where MechWarrior was just huge, and there was like BattleTech centers where you could go and sit in cockpits. I never actually went to one. My illustration of what they might be like would be completely off, but I always assumed you'd go in there and sit in a cockpit with a PC and pretend that you were in there and play against other guys, and it probably smelled real bad.
I saw the big Gundam in Tokyo.
Well, I mean, then listen, this is right up your alley.
I'm a mech fan.
Absolutely, yes, totally. Okay, let's move on to people are now using AI to cheat in Rocket League. This comes from Tyler Wilde at PC Gamer. Tyler writes, I was skeptical when I came across a Reddit poster claiming they for sure encountered a cheater in ranked Rocket League. Just like how everyone who kills me in Rainbow Six Siege is for sure aimbotting, right? But then I watched the video, and he says, well, friends, I regret to inform you that people are cheating in Rocket League. I might have this here. Let me see if I can bring it up. Do that. This is a situation where people are training AI models and using those AI models to then play for them in Rocket League. And the telltale example here in this video, which is going to be a little bit grainy for everybody, sorry, is that this vehicle almost never jumps up and goes aerial, but is able to perfectly dribble the ball on the nose of the car in a way that seems superhuman. Now, people are very good at dribbling the ball in Rocket League, but the way that this vehicle does it does seem unnatural. But the bigger thing here is like this is gonna happen. This is here. It was always gonna happen. Now, the way this works is, you have a computer play a game against itself hundreds of thousands of times, and then millions of times, and then tens of millions of times to figure out the best way to achieve a set goal, and you just say the set goal, score the most goals in Rocket League, whatever you need to do to make that happen. And over a while, it just like it naturally figures out the way of doing things, just like a living organism would. And then you go ahead and test that model and see how it works. And a lot of times it ends up being super, super good at just about anything. This is a way to train any computer to play pretty much any game. They've done this with Dota and chess and Go. And people, and the best humans in the world will then go face these things and struggle to beat them. So this is going to come to every sort of competitive sport and competitive online game where an AI model can then participate. And it seems like it's already here in Rocket League. It's a bit scary. This is something where it's like I would probably assume. We will see it a lot, but I also feel like there's a chance I've also just been encountering it and didn't know. I'm at a point online, Lucy, where I don't believe anything anymore. Because I go on like TikTok and people will be like, oh, this crazy thing happened, and I'm like, well, you could just say a crazy thing happened on TikTok and get millions and millions of views.
Millions of views.
Yeah, and I'm like, at a certain point, people realize this and just start doing that. And,
that was the scams on TikTok. They are out of control. If you see someone asking for a GoFundMe on TikTok, they are so I'm like 8 times out of 10.
Yeah. So I'm at a point where I just don't really believe anything, and it's so when something like this happens, I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna bring that into gaming, and it kind of makes me concerned. Do you think there's a chance that this could spoil online gaming even more than cheaters already have?
I mean, well, just take a look at like old COD games where, Activision has kind of moved, the Eye of Sauron has moved on to the newest release and they're not taking care of bots, aimbotting and whatever in their lobbies. Like, this is gonna be a problem. Fucking grow up if you need to use, like, what fun are you getting out of this?
So
what is
weird.
The point of playing? Yeah, you get to win, but like, what does that even earn you? Yeah, like, you don't get to feel good about it. All you did was download something and put it in your game. You probably even walked away. You probably weren't even watching at a certain point because it's got to be boring at a certain point because you're not playing and it's I mean, sure, maybe you're trolling people, but even that gets old really fast, I think, for most people. So it's really lame, and I hope they're able to figure out ways around this, but this feels like a form of cheating that is going to be pervasive and difficult to get around going forward. The trolling and ruining someone else's time is what it's all about. But
yes,
God.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's where we're at as it's the incendiary nature of like the internet, because we're so tuned into needing a reaction. We need a response from people. We need to know that something that we've done has had any kind of impact, and that's where we're lying right now.
It's it is part of the culture at this point, so unavoidable. Now bots in Rocket League are not new. This is like a thing that the developers themselves have created, these playground spaces inside of the API for Rocket League to test around with AI and machine learning ways of playing the game. But this is different because people have found their own way to implement their own version of that just in the regular version of Rocket League, and that's the big difference here. But and there's obviously reasons why you would want to be able to have AI trained models, because the future of AI in games is on the good side of things is probably also going to be this, where you use machine learning to train a model and say, okay, play like a realistic human being, or play like the most interesting NPC ever in a video game. Like, all that stuff's going to be very powerful too, and we're going to want like test beds for this stuff. But then obviously, it's like anything, like nuclear energy. You could power cities or blow them up. So the AI is going to be exactly the same going forward.
Yep.
Hate it. Yep, I'm just pretty annoyed by it already, and it's I don't think I've actually probably ever seen it, but I'm just like imagining myself seeing it now, and it's like that's enough to spoil some of the fun for me. The rumor's back. GoldenEye 007 could be arriving at the end of this month. This comes from My Nintendo News. Twisted Voxel is reporting that the long-awaited arrival of GoldenEye 007 on modern gaming platforms could be just around the corner. The news comes from Twitter user Extaslusive. EX is what I'm going to say their name is.
If you're gonna fucking leak shit, get a better username.
Yeah, come at me.
Get a username. Like, hey, Kermit the Frog or whoever was leaking the WWE stuff yesterday,
yes.
okay? Get some IP in your username. Really fuck it up for other people. You know?
Dr. Randall,
the Jim Henson Company's coming down hard on Kermit for leaking WWE shit.
I love that. Dr. Randall, I'm pretty sure that credit card is expired, but I'll get it for my kid. Don't worry. Thank you. My kid apparently came up and held a credit card up to the camera. She's a menace. This is exactly. Just hold it right up there for everybody. Kermit the Frog thing, that ruled. That was so funny. The comment was like, sold to who, you green bitch? Yeah, get his ass. Get Kermit.
Kermit the Frog here. The WWE has been sold.
Oh, man, that rules.
Allegedly.
This is probably happening pretty soon. I remember at the beginning of December, I got a word and some images and some other things confirming that an advertisement, a promotional ad was being filmed for GoldenEye 007. It was some set photos, things like that. It seems like that is the kind of thing that would take about a month and a half to shoot and then fully edit and do post-production work on, and it could be ready for any time now. So I won't be surprised if we get this one at the end of this month. Also, we've been kind of waiting for them to say when that would drop. They did. They've been implying for a long time now. GoldenEye's coming up soon. Like, that's what they said months ago now. And they haven't said like the time frame for the other games for Nintendo Switch Online that they've already announced. So it's like, okay, it just seems like they're waiting for the right time, and right now is probably it. Are you gonna? I'm pretty sure you weren't a big GoldenEye 007 fan, because I don't think Nintendo 64 local shooters were very popular when you were a kid, but I don't know.
I never had Nintendo 64.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah.
I went back and replayed it. I went back and played it after the fact. I also got the one that was on, whatchamacallit? There was an Xbox version of it. Eventually, I think
not
or like a remake.
Not GoldenEye. It was Perfect Dark. Probably what you're thinking.
No, I swear they remade
they wanted to do GoldenEye on Xbox, but Nintendo stopped them at the last minute. It can't. There was the version that has leaked since. Did you play that one? Because that did leak online.
What the hell did I play? There was Gold.
There are other GoldenEye games also as well.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
That's probably it. Yes.
I played a GoldenEye something. GoldenEye Reloaded.
Yes. Other GoldenEye games. Yes, exactly.
Other GoldenEye games. So I was like, I know. Yeah, but so I mean, maybe GoldenEye is my favorite Bond movie. And I would like to experience, the game that everyone has such fond memories of.
Well, listen, that's not going to work because it doesn't hold up like that. But
yeah, I was going to say that's the overarching thing where it's like it doesn't hold up, and so I'm interested to see how they've tried to modernize it into our modern sensibilities. But I mean, at the same time, if it comes out the end of this month, I'm sorry, man, I'm busy. Dead Space, whatever the clusterfuck February is going to be, leading up into.
The last week of this year is pretty wild. Fire Emblem, SpongeBob SquarePants, The Cosmic Shake, a few others. So yeah, it's gonna be it's coming out in a pretty busy time.
But I mean, it'll still find its audience. They always do.
Yeah.
Oh, Forspoken too. Yeah.
Forspoken, yes, that's the one I was trying to actually go look up right now.
I think I'm on deck to do the quick look for that one, because when we asked in the meeting on Monday, there was a resounding silence.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I guess I'll do it.
Get it, Lucy. I'll sit in on that one with you if you need help, because I would like to see it.
Bury me with my golden cuff.
I'm gonna cuff. All right, everybody. We'll keep moving along here. Union clashes with Activision Blizzard over recognition. This comes from Chris Moyes at Destructoid. Last month, it was reported that workers at Activision Blizzard support studio Proletariat had taken steps to forming its own union, working in conjunction with the Communication Workers of America, to establish the Proletariat Workers Alliance. However, it seems that leadership at both Activision Blizzard and Proletariat itself are refusing to recognize the group as on a voluntary basis. In a blog post signed by the Proletariat leadership team, management states that rather than acknowledge the PWA, it instead wishes to hold a new company-wide anonymous vote filed with the National Labor Relations Board. This NLRB vote, writes leadership, allows employees to get all the information and various points of view This is an important decision. Everyone deserves some time to process it and to better understand its potential impacts. Quote, everyone deserves a vote. The CWA, however, is not buying it, candidly expressing its unhappiness in a response posted to Twitter. Our proletariat leadership and upper management at Activision have refused to our request to talk about neutrality and are forcing us through an NLRB election, even though a supermajority of our bargaining unit has signed union cards, and that is not pro-worker. Their actions this week have been right out of the union-busting playbook used by Activision and so many others. We can decide for ourselves if we want a union. We don't need help from management. We need and deserve respect and neutrality. We want to do right by our team and collaborate with management without contention. This is nothing new for unions, right? I suppose that it may stand in stark relief to what happened recently over at Microsoft, where a group under ZeniMax of QA workers, about 300 people, they voted to unionize and were immediately voluntarily recognized by Microsoft. Yeah. Now, Microsoft is very deliberately trying to stand in stark relief to Activision, a company that's trying to acquire, saying that we would be a better daddy to these workers than Activision ever could. But as cynical as we could be about it, the reality on the ground is that Activision, very bad for unions, continued trying to bust it. And everyone deserves a chance to vote. Well, I mean, the people already voted that are part of this group. They want to be a union, and you're not recognizing that. That's always a diversionary tactic. This is them biding time and trying to run out the clock and find other ways to throw kink in the works of unionizing. And it's just got to be so frustrating for anyone, especially for anyone in game development that has probably wanted to unionize for a very long time, to finally get the momentum to do it, and then realizing, God, now we have the real fight, which is fighting against the management, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really speak too much about unionization because I'm not entirely familiar with the process or the legality of it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it definitely seems like Microsoft is the good cop to Activision's bad cop.
Yes,
here.
They again, it's a deliberate tactic. It's a business tactic. It is about making money in the long run for Microsoft. But again, like cynicism is only going to do. Oh yeah, okay, we point that out, but it's still good for the workers. So yeah, unionization still going to keep spreading probably, though. This is not going to really discourage a lot of people, even if Activision tries to make it as difficult as possible. The tides have turned there, and every week now it seems like we have another story about a team unionizing and being willing to go into this fight with a company like Activision. And Activision almost certainly going to be the most sort of standoffish and the most adversarial about this. And it's like, if they could go up against Activision, we can go up against whoever, Square Enix, or if they have any American teams left, or whoever else, EA. All right, Final Fantasy 16 producer Denise, I'm sorry, that's not a name.
Denise?
Yeah, Denise. Final Fantasy 16 producer denies rumors of a PC release from Alex Hopley at Gamer Actor. Final Fantasy 16 looks to be one of 2023's biggest releases for JRPG fans, and perhaps even for those wanting to get into the series. We've not seen too much from the latest game in terms of gameplay, but still the hype is there, especially when mentioned that it could be coming to PC as well as PS5. The producer of the game, Noaki Yoshida, has recently squashed those rumors, however, as he stated that nobody said a word about a PC version releasing. Don't worry about that. Buy a PS5. Some PlayStation material, of course, has previously mentioned that a PC version is coming. Also in that statement where he says, "Buy a PS5." It's clear that he's mostly joking, around. But you know that they're
Jim Ryan in the background going, "Yeah,
yes."
boy.
Well, you don't know Jim Ryan like fuck, I'll fucking kill you if you tell people it's coming to yeah, it's coming to PC. Look, every Sony first-party game is coming to PC. It would be wild if they were like, every first-party Sony game's coming to PC, but the third-party ones that we're paying a lot of money to keep off of Xbox will never go to PC. Of course, that's going to go to PC.
15 came to PC.
Yes, Final Fantasy VII Remake went to
Remake
PC.
Came. Integrate came to PC as well.
Yeah, so. And that's probably never going to Xbox, it seems like, at this point. And so, but still went to PC. I mean, just...
I don't know. 15 ended up on Game Pass for a while.
Yeah, it does seem like Sony's being a little bit more aggressive with Final Fantasy, and Microsoft did mention in like a recent filing that it was like Final Fantasy VII Remake and a few other games were ones that they're keeping off of Xbox forever. But, those agreements probably aren't actually in perpetuity. We'll see. Eventually, you're right. Probably could come to Xbox, but not anytime soon. Regardless, though, definitely went to PC. This game seems like it's going to PC. Yoshida, in like when he was saying this, was like, people keep saying like, oh, it's coming to PC 6 months later. It does seem like, according to the promotional materials previously that we've seen previously, it really is coming to PC 6 months later. So no surprise there. It is just funny to see a producer in that position where they're like, we have a deal where we have to act like it's very, very exclusive to Sony. And Jim Ryan is just off camera, like holding a knife at me.
Well, if Denise Rumors says it, then it must be true.
Denise Rumors is just out there doing the hard work for everybody.
She's the woman on the ground.
One of my favorite reporters, just on the scene, making it happen. And that's a new canon character, everybody. Denise Rumors. I want to see some fan art. All right. Hogwarts Legacy reveals Simon Pegg as the voice of Headmaster Black. Hogwarts Legacy has confirmed that the voice of Headmaster Phineas Nigellus Black will be none other than British actor Simon Pegg. Pegg is known as his role as Sean in the 2004 comedy horror movie Shaun of the Dead, as well as others. A short video was released on the official Hogwarts Legacy YouTube channel featuring Simon Pegg himself. The almost 4-minute video delves deeper into the character of Headmaster Phineas Nigellus Black, who Pegg says is the least popular headmaster in the history of Hogwarts. I'm going to keep covering Hogwarts Legacy, but each time I do, I'm going to point out it's going to give money to a terrible bigot. What else can I do, though? I'm still going to try to treat the game with a certain sense of it's just another game. And I guess it's like I also want to just like use the story as a reminder. Like people always say like vote with your wallet, Lucy, and almost no one ever really does. And I think it's a good reminder now, like in a situation like this where you're like, I like Simon Pegg. I wish he wouldn't have done this. It kind of bums me out a little bit. And then, people it does seem like this game's going to sell very well.
Didn't it top like the
Steam sales charts last month?
Sales charts, yeah.
Yes, it's going to sell very well. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean people don't actually vote with their wallets. It is not some, and you shouldn't. It doesn't really actually ever accomplish anything. I know we don't want to give money to people that we don't like. Of course I don't. I feel that all the time. But it's very hard to stop sort of that wave of people being interested in a product and trying to convince them like, well, here's how it hurts. If you have to explain it, it's already a lost battle. But you can still be loud, you can still criticize, and that stuff actually is legitimately more effective than voting with your wallet. If you're loud about it and you criticize people, it will work way better, especially these days, than being like, I will deny them my $70. Your voice online, making sure that people are always reminded of the people at the top here, J.K. Rowling, who is every time she has a chance to open her mouth, says something hateful again. If you keep that criticism going, it will be more effective in the long run than just like trying to enact a boycott. Not that, of course, always buy with your conscience, right? I mean, I don't know. How are you feeling about this? I kind of feel like this is going to be the conversation we have every time with this game. At least I'm going to. How are you feeling about it?
I've kind of made the decision. I'm obviously not going to be playing Hogwarts Legacy, but also I don't. Not worry, but she's so harmful and is upset and is actively doing harm to so many people that I'm fearful of talking about it because I don't want to get anything wrong, but I do want to make it known that like trans rights are human rights. Like she's I don't understand her. I don't understand why she is so hateful. But then that's aside. The conversation about Hogwarts Legacy is that, like, if you told me 5 years ago that this is where we would be, I wouldn't have believed you. Even when even when I kind of aged out of Harry Potter, right? I would still be like, this is the game that I've always wanted to play. But now the narrative, despite Warner Brothers saying that she's not involved, all that kind of stuff, and having a trans character in the game, it's overshadowed everything. And I can't separate myself from that to enjoy it.
Yep.
Even if I didn't, the fact that I don't want to give my money and time and energy to this world anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could physically sit and play it because that would be in my head the whole time, and I would just feel such a sense of, I don't know, disappointment.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, and it's like there are so many people who aren't aware of what Rowling is doing,
and
is
just
doing.
don't have the time to care. They're people working minimum wage jobs, just trying to get by, and
just want to enjoy this world that they've escaped to for so long.
And it's just it's not a losing battle. Eventually, this will shift. I promise you. Eventually, these things will get better. And no one wants to hear incrementalism. I get that, but incrementally things do move in that direction if we keep being loud about it. And keep and not letting it slide. I want to say one thing that frustrates me though is people jump to, will this game be reviewed fairly? I don't give a fuck. What am I supposed to do other than bring my feelings into a game when I go to play it? I do think it's actually going to be reviewed just fine, just as fairly. But what does that even mean? Why is that? It's just so low on my list of concerns when it's like up here we're talking about people being treated like people, trans people being treated like fairly. Are they treated fairly? Eat shit. No, they're not. Why do we care about this a game? It's just not that big a deal in the grand scheme of things. So if that's your first concern, I'll tell you what, if you worked on the game, I'll hear you out. If you didn't, I kind of want you to get out of my face with that. I don't even want to talk to you about that. So let's just keep things in perspective. Moving on, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is available now on mobile. This comes from Alex Hopley at GamerActor. The hit beat-em-up side-scroller TMNT Shredder's Revenge has made the leap from console and PC to mobile and is now accessible on Android and Apple devices on their respective app stores. However, in order to play this game, you're going to need a Netflix subscription, even if you download it from another app store. You can also access the game from the Netflix app on the Games tab. This is the latest game to come to Netflix as part of the company's efforts to branch out into gaming. Previously, another highly rated 2022 title came to the platform, Immortality, a story-based game that sees you figure out what really happened to a model-turned-actress who disappeared. Lucy, I woke up and I suddenly care about Netflix's gaming stuff. Somehow they've just curated it in such a way that it is. I'm opening up the Games tab, I guess, and that's I know that doesn't sound like much, but it takes. It is a lot, right?
It is, but I think this is good poll material because I still don't think they're doing a good job at marketing this stuff.
Yes, fair.
Even if I open the app now, there is no tab. It just says home, new and hot, fast laughs, and downloads. And then I scroll down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th carousel is where you find games. Yep. They are doing a terrible job at this, at marketing this stuff, man, because they have great games on there. They've got Point B, they have Immortality, they have Shredder's Revenge, which we played last year and had so much fun with. Also, I need to catch the speedrun that was on GDQ the other day.
Yes, they did the GDQ speedrun.
It's...
Wait,
everyone knows what Netflix is.
On the bottom here, I'll kind of show you real quick. It's the second button here on the bottom for me. Do you have that? It might be different on iOS.
I'm on iOS, and so I wonder if that's why.
It might be they don't want to have a full games tab on iOS because iOS will get mad. Apple will get mad at them, maybe.
Yeah, because if I clicked on Shredder's Revenge, it takes me to the game page, and then Get Game takes me to the App Store. Yeah,
that's basically what happens here as well.
Yeah.
Well, now I have the game, so it just takes me to the game. But yeah.
Yeah, it's... Oh, shit, there's a Too Hot to Handle game?
Yes, there is. Yes,
and 12 minutes.
Yeah, 12 minutes is on there. That's the ideal way to play 12 minutes on a subway train in a loud environment where you can't really see or hear what's going on, so you don't actually process any of the story.
Spiritfarer is on there.
This is what I'm saying. They have curated something that is legit, actually pretty impressive. Now, the other side of that is these games on mobile, at least many of them. I guess I won't. Maybe not all of them. But it's some of them at least are only available on mobile through Netflix, and that's a very big distinction between how Xbox Game Pass works. Where if you want to buy the game, you can of course always just buy the game. They don't ever do that. But here it's the only way to get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or the robot tactics game that I can't ever remember the name of, even though I love it. Like you have
tax thing.
Robot tactics game.
Oh, I thought you said robot tax game.
Well, that's, I mean, that sounds like a very good game too.
If you
Someone should make
that. If you want to see Calculon do his tax returns, press B.
Wait, have you heard that Baba Is You got a sequel? Baba does his taxes or whatever.
Yes,
Baba files taxes. I haven't played that, but I'm gonna try it out. But it's like you have to get Netflix if you want those games, and that's the only option. And I know a lot of people are pretty frustrated by that, but I already have Netflix, and so for me personally, like just opening up and seeing like a pretty good list of games, I'm like it seems like they understand a pathway here towards or navigating games to be like, hey, we understand the games you like. We will help bring them to mobile. And so at a certain point, when we have more of our own stuff that you, someone who cares about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, might care about, if you care about that game, and we put out a game that we think you might care about because you care about that game, well, you are already paying attention because we've done all this work to do a lot of effort into that curation. I mean, listen, it's a long walk from here to there to them putting out a big game that anyone else will care about. But this is a step in that direction, and in a way that that Amazon games never really took those steps, right? Or Google Stadia just flailing in the dark, couldn't figure any of this stuff out. Netflix feels more competent than those to me so far. What do you think?
I think so. I mean, I think in terms of curating a library, I think they've done an incredible job. My main issue, and I was just looking it up there, is that like Netflix does such a good job, I think, at promoting its shows. Not every show. I think in particular Geeked, as kind of the Netflix brand, as like, and what is the other one? Like Netflix is a joke. Like they have these little curated buckets where they recognize that the audience for different shows is very different. Like they don't all want to be curated on the main Netflix feed, so they've branched out. And I think one of the things that's actively harming them right now is they don't have anything. At least I searched Netflix games on Twitter, and the top thing, at least for mine, is people that used to work at Netflix before they got rid of all their editorial, and then oh my god, they're making a Agent Elvis show. Interesting. And then there's Netflix Film, Netflix India, UK and Ireland, Geeked, Philippines, Next Games, and Netflix Studio. But there's nothing that kind of curates and is speaking to the audience that they need to be or should be reaching, I guess. Like even on the Geeked feed, there wasn't anything, and you would think that maybe there would be something in there, but maybe they just haven't got around to it yet for Shredder's Revenge.
Part of me thinks they also were like maybe trying to do a silent or quiet sort of stepping into gaming, and they don't want to be like going out there swinging like crotch first and be like, hey, we're here, everybody, deal with us. And so like they're like, no, let's just put out the good games on the mobile and see if we get people talking that way. And then as we do that, if that's successful, then we could sort of build on that and be like, yeah, we are buzzworthy in the gaming space because we're responsible for a lot of these games coming to mobile. Now, again, that's just that can't be the only strategy. It has to be a very the germ of an idea that turns into something bigger. But again, that's more than Google or Amazon are capable of.
A germ of an idea. I love that.
Yeah, please, thank you.
I love it.
All right, couple more stories here. Square Enix to reveal new Dragon Quest RPG for mobile this month. It's just a small one from My Nintendo News. Square Enix has announced that it has been busy developing a brand new Dragon Quest game for iOS and Android. The game will be a mobile RPG and is due to be unveiled by the Japanese company on Monday, the 18th of January, during a special live stream. The Dragon Quest mobile RPG reveal stream will include an overview of the game, live gameplay, and more. I mostly put this in here, Lucy, to be like, I remember a time about 10 years ago where something like this would get announced and it would be pandemonium among the fan base being like, this is it. This is their next actual Dragon Quest game. They're never going to make a real Dragon Quest game ever again. And we've come so far from there to a point where it's like, that is unfathomable. That is inconceivable that they would do that. This is clearly just, it can stand alone, be a completely separate thing for a separate audience. And Square Enix and the fandom and everyone involved fully understands that. And there's still a big audience for the traditional console RPG that is obviously still coming. They've said it's coming. It's kind of amazing how much things have changed over time, right?
Yeah, but now they can put gacha mechanics in this one.
And they will.
A lot of money. And they will. And maybe it'll be on the blockchain.
I mean, it is Square Enix. One could hope. One can hope.
I don't understand that shit.
I mean, it's I don't think Square Enix understands it. And they keep telling everybody it's the future. So, yep.
Hey.
Yeah, they did they did like announce and maybe release like 4 or 5 NFT projects or blockchain projects last year. No one talks about any of that stuff. So
how they doing?
Yep. But then the New Year's letter, they said we're still going into it, and all of the fervor around it and all of the criticism around it is actually good. We welcome it.
Yeah, we're just having the conversation.
Oh, poor Square Enix.
I'm just asking the questions.
Oh, poor Square Enix. All right. Let's see here. Last thing. New Super Mario Galaxy 2 speedrun world record was set in a thrilling live race during AGDQ. This comes from Alana Heggs at Nintendo Life. AGDQ 2023 is underway right now, and if you haven't been watching it already, you've been missing out on some cracking speedruns. Lucy, can I get away with saying cracking, you think? I don't think I could say like
speedruns.
Yeah, but like I couldn't say bloody. I don't think I couldn't go around being like, oh, that's bloody good.
Some bloody good speedruns.
Yeah, so I don't think I could pull that off. But I think cracking.
You gotta just believe in it.
You're right, but I don't believe in bloody. I believe in cracking, though. I do believe in that. And I think I'm gonna start.
The thing is when Americans say it sounds like you're saying cracking, as in like ripping a fart.
Okay, well,
like a cracking speedrun.
Maybe I could just embrace that, and I could just be like, only say cracking when I'm really just letting one go, when I'm really forcing one out.
Yeah, but then there's cranking, which Americans use to mean like they're really working at something, but British people use to say like
jerking off.
Yeah.
Cool. Just wanted to clarify.
So it's very funny to us because people
crank it in the front and crack it in the back, Lucy. You know how we do.
People will be like, "Oh yeah, I'm just cranking away at this project," and I'm just like, "You said that in a work Slack? Oh my god, disgusting!"
Well, listen, we can. This is a
disgusting.
Full. That's what crank will always mean on this podcast, Lucy. I can promise you that. So we'll be more careful in the future.
I'm doing my part.
The new record was set by Jahei, who actually broke his own world record by 4.4 seconds. Now the record sits at 2 hours, 54 minutes, 51.33 seconds in the any percentage with bank category. This was pretty impressive. I didn't watch this live. I was watching parts of it live, and then I had to go put my kids to bed and missed this. So I was pretty mad with myself. But it's a pretty cool moment. Actually mute it there, but it's pretty impressive to see them actually pull this off, and
that's another one.
Pull it off?
Yeah.
I guess of course it is. Yeah.
Americans have so many fucking things that they say, and British people are just like.
I learned about fanning a long time ago, but many of these, it's like, well, yeah, in a certain context, of course, pull it off and cranking it. I've used all of those to mean exactly that, but it's like there is a time and a place where if you are in a business setting, I can get away with saying that stuff. Apparently not. Yeah. Not with Lucy around. Yeah. Not with Sheriff Lucy on the case.
British around.
Just shooting me down. This was a really good moment. I don't think I could do the best version of anything that I've ever done with 80,000 people watching me live in a race with friends where people are just like joking around casually about like how the game is played. This is impressive stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I mean, GDQ, I can't imagine it at all. Because on top of it, like, as you said, doing your best, having friends on, you're also being entertaining, and you're kind of under a lot more scrutiny because there are so many people watching, the entire community is watching, and you are also kind of doing your best to showcase your skills, and the game skips the best way you can. And and then on top of that, to be able to break a world record is huge, and that is why GDQ is the best. Also, if you haven't seen H Bomber Guy's video about speedrunning, I 100% recommend it. It is great. It's about 45 minutes long.
Yep, his videos are all great. So yeah, go watch.
They're all amazing.
All right, let's get to the polls, Lucy. I had at some point in the past, who can remember when, I asked, do you have an interest in purchasing a VR headset that costs more than $600? 89.6% said exactly what Lucy just said. Big X, no, thank you. 10.4% said yes. And that's I thought I set that number pretty low. But that also, that number doesn't surprise me, right? 10.4%. That sounds about right for the high-end VR.
There will always be the VR, like, corner. There will always be those people who want to spend that money, who want to get that, like, the best experience they can possibly get. And so there will always be those people. I just think, a vast majority of people are not. But if there are enough VR pervs, it'll be fine.
Absolutely. I'm going to write up the new poll, but in the meantime, why don't you tell people what's happening this week? What's going on with you?
What is going on with me? There's no Jeffs this week because John is still traveling, but we're filming next week, I believe. Recording next week. What am I doing this week?
What is anything? What do I think? What do you got going on?
On the GameSpot side, I'm writing a fat video about Fire Emblem for the anniversary, so that's where my head is at the minute. What else we got? Is Pegg going on today?
I think we have Pitt going on today. Yes, Pitt's back.
Yeah.
I think we have Eternal Darkness back.
Light Club.
Light Club is back tomorrow. Yes, as long as I don't get worse again. Yeah.
Yeah. UPF, check my Asana. Absolutely done me. I don't have any work stuff on my PC, and that's why I don't have it in front of me, because I operate church and state. Because I used to have a work PC as my main PC, and it would just be like, I didn't get that separation of end of the day into gaming time. And so now all of my work stuff is on my laptop, my Mac. So it's even different operating system. So I have extreme separation. And then, everything else is on my
You get another
PC.
job, you can have Linux too, and just do all your stuff on Linux.
I've got a Steam Deck.
Oh, yeah, there you go, yeah.
I got Linux.
Got it all.
The last thing I need is another job.
For real.
I have, like, there's a lot going on.
I'm aware. You have like 50, yes.
And then, I think that's pretty much it. And then I'm just writing this big video that'll come out end of next week, which will be fun.
I asked a poll for tomorrow. Okay. Do you believe that you are usually playing against other humans in online multiplayer games? And of course, the underlying thing there is like when the game is presenting it as such. You know when you're playing against bots when it tells you, but when it's like when it's trying to pretend like, oh, you were playing, or not trying, but like when it says outright that you are playing against humans, do you believe that you are? I'm definitely getting to a point where less and less frequently do I 100% believe. So I guess we'll see what other people have to say. All right, I think that's gonna do it. I mean, listen, it's been a while since I did one of these shows, so I'm trying to get back in the flow of things. It's been a while. Yeah, I had that album signed after I went to a Korn concert and saw Stained there open for them, and I'm like, this band's gonna be huge. And they were selling the album signed in the lobby, and I bought it. Oh well.
What?
Listen, it was a hell of a time. It was a hell of a time in Columbus, Ohio, in early.
That is Grubb lore.
Yes,
Holy
it is.
Shit.
There you go. I probably still have that CD somewhere in my parents' house if I wanted to go find it.
God. Please do next time you're back.
Lucy, thank you so much for spending today talking about video games with me.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And thank you all for watching and listening. You're the best audience in gaming. Until next time, have a good one. Take care of yourself and keep cranking.